Good morning and welcome to our morning movement session. This morning you can use, I have a lacrosse ball in one hand. This is a 1 pound dumbbell, and think wrist. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of wristy movements. So this in fact is one of our first movements. Now when you're holding the weight, light, easy, soft grip. So I want you to imagine that there's a wave. Okay, so you're first just starting out waving, let me get up close, but just kind of waving in, waving out. And then you're going to add kind of a little gliding lunge side to side. And I'm turning my wrist in and out, and in and out. I'm going to get up close again and show that movement. A couple more, and then we're going to change sides. So I'm holding a lacrosse ball in my other hand, and weight-wise, not even sure if it's a pound, maybe not quite a pound, but just to give you the idea that you don't have to use a dumbbell. So just holding it lightly, and again, your motion is folding in, folding out, turning the wrist in and out. And you can definitely start to feel those little tiny muscles in your wrist. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do both of the wrists at the same time, folding in, folding out, folding in, folding out. And I'm just doing the lower leg movement because it's fun. But if you want to just do this sitting, you can. You might feel or hear a lot of popping in your wrists, and that's okay, unless it hurts. Okay, and then just take a moment and loosely hold the weight or the ball, and then just let your hand open. Lift your wrist higher and higher and higher. And curl in. Okay, so we're going to use that whole movement. I'm going to go through here. So you're lowering, 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 and opening. Like you're getting ready to drop them, but you don't. And then you curl up and touch. So you're opening, 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 almost like you're offering the ball or the weight, and then keeping everything in close. And then opening. Now I choose wrists because I work with through the years I've worked with a lot of older women. And the one thing that I notice goes first in most women is their wrists and this joint right here. It becomes very difficult to do things like push-ups, or you're probably like, yeah, all right, I have an excuse. and becomes very hard to, I remember my mom struggling with the car seat buckles, not being able to do those. So keeping the wrist strong. Now taking your right hand and just circling, 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 circling across, circling. And again, you don't have to do the leg motions. I just do it because it's fun. So you're doing almost like you have one of those big pieces of chalk, and you're just doing little curly cues. And then around the other way. So as you go across and circle, reverse, go the other way. Or maybe you have have you ever done fire twirling? I've done fire twirling. And so you've got your little fire stick on the end. Yeah. And then circle around. Now you might notice I just changed wrists. My left wrist is very clunky. Doesn't move as fluidly, right, as my dominant hand. So just notice that. But not to say you can't change that, right? Doing things like this. I know my left wrist is fatiguing much faster than my right one did. Now we're going to shift from doing curly cues to straight lines. So one more time across. And now imagine you're taking your thumb up. Whoops, thumb up. And then wrist down. And you're kind of, well, it's almost like you have a lightsaber. And you're whoosh, drawing it out and down. And I'm just doing some little steps with that. So you're shining the top of your dumbbell at your shoulder and then shining it back behind you at the bottom of the movement. And feeling your wrist mobilize. One more time. And then to that other hand. So you're painting the stroke up and then down. And if you want to add that lunge step, lunging forward and back. Forward and back. And just guiding that movement, focusing on the wrist. And now both of them at the same time. And we're just going to squat down and up. Curling the wrists. I'll show that motion again right here. And back. Up and back. A couple more. Awesome. And then just taking the arms. And we're going to bring some elbows in as well. You're just twirling in and out. Good. Twirling in. We're going to reverse this in two. Do little tiny squats and one. Keep the elbows up and go the other way. Good. Keeping the elbows at shoulder height. Good. 6. 4 more. And 3. 2. Keeping the arms up. Coming up over your head, making it a big, keeping those elbows high, but we're now bringing the arms above your head. Open and close, feeling the heart rate come up a little bit. Reverse and go the other way. Up overhead 2. Shoulders down, neck long. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. And just walking arms, shake that out, move the energy. And go ahead and set down whatever you're holding, dumbbell balls. And taking the palms, bringing them together, and pulling the wrist down, keeping the elbows high. How'd that feel? Did you notice anything about your wrists that surprised you? Clasp your hands. Press your palms forward. And really, if you think about it, we do use our wrists a lot. Stretch up, especially if you are doing a lot of computer work. Even this, texting on the phone. And stretching over to the other side for things we do in the kitchen. Wrists. Stretch up other side. Writing, drawing, painting. Deep breath in. Stringing all of these. Open the arms. Clasping the hands behind you. And stretching out your chest. Inhale. Exhale, let your shoulders melt down your back. Beautiful. Another deep breath in. Let it out slowly. Many of you are in the teaching profession and going back to school. When do you go back to school? Shake it out. Loosen the arms and just take a moment to be in your body, feeling any interesting or new sensations and welcoming it all in. Thank you so much for joining me for a live session or the recording. If you're in the recording, drop a hello and have a wonderful Monday and a great start to your week. Thanks, everybody. Namaste.